Okay, next one is 78. Okay, so the one after this should be the last one. So hopefully I can get all this recording done way before 10 o'clock. Glad to see Orcus hasn't sunk his teeth into you yet, Artorias. Don't go thinking he has given up on trying though. Well, hopefully not. He's out there, savoring you from a distance. Can't resist checking on his prize. Just as he can't resist seeking out morsels to tide him over to his feast. The reports we receive of a man pale as death sulking about the sands is proof of that. And then there is the matter of his blunt dagger. We don't know who sent it, but we do know what it means. It's a warning commonly used by less savory elements in Oda. A warning that what next will be delivered as sharp and straight to the baileys. More fool them! They have no intention of what we have faced and lived, thinking we stole our small claws over empty threats. Let's hope it's nothing more than that, lass, seeing as we need to follow up on those reports sooner or later. Anyone fancying a bit of a fresh air? If you catch a sniff of Orcus' foul stench, all the better. Artorias, I want you to ask around near Blackbrush Station, and I'll head to Stone Throw. When you're done, meet me there and I will share what we have dug up. Okay. Time to go to Blackbrush Station! Okay, loyal Lumiere, what do you got to say? I recognize that self-assumed stride. The mark of a woman ready to take on the world, and then some. You must be the Yorton Reaper that Boss said about. Oh, sir, said word about. Well, that's me. I'm almost disappointed to tell you, nothing's amiss. The soldier in me would love to see a Reaper in action. I once fought in the Imperial Army, though you wouldn't think it looked to me now. I sat probably under Lord Valius in my youth, until the day he ordered us to use common folk as fodder in some pointless skirmish. I refused, and was sentenced to death for my conduct. Needless to say, I didn't keep that appointment. Compared to that evil, toothless threats and ghosts are no bother. But less jade are more excitable. One less in particular has been jumping at the shadow. She's calm to have seen all manner of terrors, but I expect she is started her own reflection. Still, if you want to lend an ear to her delusions, you find her in Lost Hope. Okay. Onward to Lost Hope, Lost Hope, Lost Hope. Okay, here we are, Lost Hope. Okay, I'm back after getting some water. I really deserve that. Ah! Oh, hello. Who are you? I am Artorias, a Reaper in training. Oh, did Drusilla receive my missive? She sent someone to rid us of this terrible evil waiting in the wings? Truly? She cared for us as we were her own flesh and blood? Which is more I can say about my own. Not once have I longed to return to the life of comfort I left behind in Garland, and I have Drusilla to thank for that. She isn't the reason I left home in the first place. Of course, had not I left my beloved, I would likely be feasting on lemon cakes in ignorance. In ignorance of love, of freedom, I found the former in Garland, and the latter in Yorza, as our new life blossomed into something beautiful. Not every day has been easy, not even most days, but Drusilla's watchful eye has kept us safe, and our freedom is worthy of any measure of hardship. Such terror fear gripped my heart when my beloved told me of a pale man he spied on the sands. But now that the family has come to help, I can breathe a sigh of relief. I'm sure you wish to know precisely where to find that horrid creature, but I cannot help half so well as my beloved might. Seek him in the southeast and pray put an end to this nightmare. Okay, so I need to go southeast from here. So where is this exactly in the map? Okay, it's right there. Onward to vanquish this vile creature for good. Oh, if it's not that far, it's right on top of me. Derp! Let's see, it's right over here. Lit it dandy. Throughout devilish mist, the hunter doubts now dread, tracking the scent of quarry others dead. In darkest night, cry for a keeper. Low by your side, she walks the reaper. Wow, that little rhyme was pretty spot on, Lee Dandy. Apologies for the effusive display, friend. I'm a poet, you see, and cannot resist putting into words the flood of emotions that accompany such a striking figure as yours. Wait, is this guy really hitting on me? Good lord, man. And I see my praise here. Wow, that's a bit different. Monster! The bloodlust emanating from this voice is potent and powerful. Not potent enough for me to slay him first. Okay, where is this? Okay, it's right over there. Let's kill this sucker real fast. Oh, okay. Now let's kill him. This is some reaping. And do that. I don't need to do the full combo, he's already dead anyway. Okay. He's been taken care of Will's effectively. Granted, I'm really overpowered on level 80, so that stands the reason I'm a little bit overgeared for this. It would be kind of nice if they can level sync our gear so it would make the foe a little bit more trickier when you first do this for the very first time. But, oh well. Thank you, my savior! My godsend! Would that I could have aided you, but alas, a poet pen is a little used in battle. Useless, of course, that battles involve not swords and scythes, but words. Just ask the sire of my beloved, who is even now licking the wounds dealt by this inceptive verse. I composed after he had gone Gauls to forbid our union. A masterworker of shattling metaphor and subdue remonstration? That's a word I never heard about. Alas, for all their perceptions, nobles are anything but subtle in their rage. We are forced to flee, to abandon our homes with only our love for subsistence. Nevertheless, I regretted not a single moment of our life in exile. In yours, we found an unexpected treasure. Freedom! Freedom of mind and freedom of the heart. But I digress. Surely you did not seek me out. I was simply to save my life and leave a nod and a smile. Did you wish to commission a poem? Not really. I'm more of a information if you have any. The Pale Man? I encountered him whilst wandering these riddled wastes in search of inspiration. I felt the gaze about some terrible presence upon my back, and when I turned to meet it, he was standing there, grinning like a butcher in a pole pen. He wore robes much too thick for this scorched sands, and his skin looks as if he had been kissed by a blazing sun. Worst of all, his eyes were as bottomless pools of blood. I feared my end had come, but then he vanished as quickly as he appeared. Perhaps I've been reckless. Recent incidents make it clear that the cost of one's inspiration is higher than I'm willing to pay. I shall return to my beloved, for my safety and hers. Thank you again, my savior. My pleasure. I'm here to save the common folk, which is most cases. Alright, now let us go back to... where again? I need to go back here, okay. Okay, where is this guy? Should be right around here somewhere. Oh, hello, teacher. Good to see you back here. Oop, no, wrong button. There you are! And? Well, we found him, but the target disappeared from us. Another of one of his accursed minions? Well, I suppose we can take comfort in the fact that none of the family came to harm, yourself included. Well done. Speaking of which, what do you think of this family you've been thrust into? Speak freely! I haven't lived this long by taking offense of opinions I don't want to hear. Okay. I'm surprised you have survived this long. Seems like any other family to me. Doesn't matter what I think, does it? Just seems like any other family to me. Ha! Seems some odd families then, I reckon. I like to think we're on a kind, though a collection of cutthroats, unfit to live under the Empire's boot, yours truly included. Much as some enlightened types might tell you otherwise, people like to have a say in the life they have led. That's what separates us from those bugs out there. Born queens, workers, drones, bred into roles ingrained so deeply they wouldn't know how to live otherwise, for the glory and prosperity of the hive. But we got it in us to be different. Might be born into farmers, soldiering, or paladins, but we can choose to walk a different path whenever the fancy should strike. That in our nature to accept or lot without question. No! We have to believe in something. Put our faith into it. Only then will we deign to march in step. Okay. And indeed, Fate of a Savage strip is one way to get us dancing to the same tune. Others might be compelled through fate in logic or law entangled, invisible, yet cause enough for killing and consequenting, if it suits the queen. The invaders have been sullied our birthright for 8 centuries. No longer we march for Locus Amoris. With a few righteous words, his radiant solace Zon Gavalis rip the hive into a frenzy. Once the fire is burning, the passion of the masses can't soon be quelled. What was once a wish. Once that fire is burning, the passion of the masses cannot be quelled. Was that once a wish for home became a holy mission to spread enlightenment. Enlightenment which would not suffer such benefits as the beastmen held. Countless scorns rendered up their lives on the altar of the Empire, until an entire continent was united under a single magitech fist. For those who still dream the dream of unity, a deed worthy of song, yet some awoke to see it for the tyranny it was, my grandfather Rulius included. The talent of the Reapers are passed down through the bloodlines. Rulius was the best of us, the most accomplished and feared in the Order long history. The duty of the Reapers, our role in the hive, if you will, was to deliver our countrymen from the corruption and power-hungry tyrants. When Garleans found religion in conquest, its appetite grew to be instainable. Instainable? My grandfather pondered this conundrum for many sleepless nights, and came to the decision he would relieve Solus Zongravelis of his life. But that didn't come to be. 20 years ago, he slipped into the deepest chambers of the Imperial Palace, silent as a shadow, until he could hear the Emperor's beating heart. Yet when Rulius returned to me, Solus was alive and well. My grandfather, on the other hand, had a skirtless into his steps, and his black hair had turned pale white. He said not of his encounter with the Emperor, save that most powerful man in Garleans was no man at all. Shame in his defeat, my grandfather sought greater power. Bit by bit, he gave more of himself over to the void scent behind his avatar. Orcus struck when Rulius was his weakness, taking his flesh and soul in one fell swoop. When he was finished, not mote of my grandfather remained in that body. There was only Orcus. The fiend flew into rapturous frenzy, and my family were his first victims. I remember the chill of his teeth sucking into my flesh, gawing until they reached my very essence. How am I standing here before you, then? Oh, Orcus guards on a soul that night. But it wasn't mine. Not exactly. It was my avatar that filled his belly, since that was all he could stomach. So that means you have no avatar then. Some might consider that a lucky twist of fate, but I had little time to ponder my fortune. Fled soon as I was able. His radiance never looked kindly on those trying to end his life, or their families. I wandered about for years until I settled here and started seeking out others like me. Others who have awoken to the Empire's dream. Numerous is what we call the spirits of the dead in the Garlean tongue, a fitting moniker if there ever was one. Waking up from a long sleep ain't like climbing out of a grave. I can attest to that. Nope. Sons of a bleeding! Remind me not to give such a long-winded speech when the sand's blowing in my face. I'm heading back from some ale. See you at the headquarters. Okay, see ya, headmaster. Oh, guildmaster. And I really like her backstory though, how she was in the line of dozens of Reapers and her grandfather decided to kill, well, that one particular Asian. But, of course, that didn't come out so well as she hoped it to be. Okay, let's go back to Oda. And I think we'll end this recording because the maiden is almost time to be. And we're back. Welcome back, boss! How was the family? Shaken but unharmed aside from some tousled hair and mangled verses. Orcus left one of his minions behind as a gift, but Artorias made quick work of it. I always said she was a keeper. You have an eye for the fiercest of heart. That's a little bit saying when we first met she didn't trust me at all, but now she actually trusts me after showing some of my metal. I wager she could slay Orcus all on her own. Not that she can take all of that glory. Of course we couldn't. We'll all be there when Orcus tries to take his prize. I don't think we'll be waiting long either. Orcus said he'll strike when Orcus was ripe with fear and hatred and despair, seasoning his loath to forgo. I have an inkling in how he might try to draw out those emotions. Right you are, Dusla! Wait, what? How many nights did you mourn your lost avatar? The wellspring of your power, I must say. It was quite the dish. Ah! I think not. Move such as a finger, and her head will hit the floor. Oh, that's it, Artorias. That fire! I want to see it burn! I want to see it rage! I want to see it, that hatred seep into the depths of your soul. Shall I make this drill a final breath? Or this one? It's so very hard to choose. I was right not to give into the baser instincts, to allow the thought of your tease to simmer my mind as you and Dirsa form a bond, a kinship even. Born from an understanding of her insequential ideals, that you may better appreciate the bitter loss. But perhaps I shouldn't wait a while longer, to let the flavor of your hatred mature, and the tang of your malice ripen. I can make use of Daza yet. Revel in her screams, execute in her misery. Ah, how splendid it would be! All the while, my prized piglet grows fat, and loading with succulent with terror. Patience rewards the delightful gourmand. After all, when your tantalizing flavor has fully matured, I shall return, and I shall reap my harvest. Well, so much for a guildmaster. And all that's left is her sight. Which means it's my turn to do the reaping. I admit that. Goddamn Voisin bastard! Soulless piece of shit! We need to think, Herman. Swine that blood slaughtering demon spawn? Orcus is gonna pay for this. We need to think, Herman. I know! Now's not the time to lose my temper. Deep breaths. Cool head. Right. We need a plan. First things first, find out where Orcus is hiding. The rest of the family should be able to keep help with that. In the meantime, you need to prepare. I know you're good, Artorias, but we can't leave the boss's life to chance. Sharpen your skills and your sight, then sharpen them once more. The boss can't do naught against Orcus without her avatar, That means you have to do the heavy lifting. Of course, I do what I can to afford you advantage. You can count on that for the Zula. And that is that. And the last one of the quest is the killing art. And we get those two. But of course, that will be on the next recording because it's almost maintenance because of the whole fixing on the server congestion, which has been a kind of a recurring thing on early access. So that is understandable. They need to fix that in this maintenance. But I'll be doing another recording on the Reaper probably the next day after this, but that'll be way after my initial upload for this video recording for Final Fantasy XIV Endwalker. So I hope you guys enjoyed this long ass recording session on Final Fantasy XIV Endwalker. And if you have any comments, put them down below the video as well. And please click the like button, it's very much appreciated. And if you're curious on whenever I upload new content on my YouTube channel, you can give it a look. And if you're going to subscribe, don't forget to click the bell icon to get notified whenever I upload/stream on YouTube. But mostly upload. Streaming is on my Twitch channel. And of course, I have 3 projects which are going on my channel, which are Final Fantasy XIV Raid, Triumph, MSQ, Broadcast, Job, Get Minions, Mounts, and anything are related to Final Fantasy XIV. And secondly, would be Freight Grand Order for Lost Bell 4 and 5. And of course, my role videos and challenge quests and like. And lastly, would be Persona 5 The Royal. And with that, this has been Ravensleep45. Take care, stay safe, and have a pleasant Final Fantasy XIV day.